2 times 2 is 4. Too much to list, but keep reading. From Evil the Cat's Circus of Scars to the Planet of Meat, join Jim on a mad cop chase across the galaxy. Saving cows, thwarting lawyers, and outsmarting Psy-Crow are all in a day's work for Jim. Are you up to the challenge? Can you handle the awesome new weapons? That's how it's spelled. Excellent. Then stop reading this. Take it up to the front counter and try it at home. Trust no one. Play it yourself or eat dirt. This is Earthworm Jim 2 from Shiny Entertainment and Playmates, released in 1995. It's, of course, part of the Earthworm Jim franchise and is a sequel to Earthworm Jim. It is the second and final game in the series, developed by the original creators Doug Ten-Napal, David Perry, and Shiny. Released in 95 or 96, depending on your region and console, initially being released for the Genesis and Super Nintendo, it was eventually ported to other consoles like DOS, the Saturn, the PlayStation, Game Boy Advance, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and the Wii. The purpose is largely the same as the original. We travel through levels to save Princess What's-Her-Name and defeat the game's numerous enemies, namely Psy-Crow. However, gameplay is more diverse. While the majority of levels are still run-and-gun and platformer, this game incorporates different gameplay elements as well, such as the opening level, Anything But Tangerines, and the game's 8th level, Level 8, play largely the same to the original, with the exception of being a larger variety of moves at our disposal. For instance, there are more types of guns, and we have auto-aiming guns, Barn Blaster, which takes out everything on the screen. We have Snot, who travels with us and can be used to stick and swing to other slimy green surfaces, or as a parachute upon jumping. Other levels stray farther from the formula. In the 3rd level, the Villy People, we must guide Jim, defenseless in disguise of a blind cave salamander, through intestinal passages while avoiding exploding sheep and hazards embedded in the floor and walls. The later part of the level switches to a game show trivia format where we have to answer nonsensical multiple choice questions that commonly have no logical correct answer. Another level, aptly titled Inflated Head, has Jim's head inflated, much like a balloon, and we must control Jim as he floats upward, avoiding touching sharp objects which cause him to fall back down to the start of the level, while dodging Flagitius's attacks. Yet another, the Flying King, plays as an isometric shooter with Jim on his pocket rocket, where a balloon with a bomb must be directed to the end of the level and defend from enemies in order to defeat Major Mucus. The last level is not a typical boss fight, but rather a race against Psy-Crow through an obstacle course to get the Princess What's-Her-Name. The game ends with Jim saving the princess, but all 3 characters eventually turning randomly into cows. 2 bosses are exclusive to this game, Pedro Pupa, a unicycle riding pupa, and Flaming Yawn, a fire-breathing snake. Reception was positive. IGN and GameZone declared it better than the original, was also very well received. Destructoid praised its humor, innovative gameplay, and the minigame style levels spread throughout the game, and they were held to high regard, as well as a welcome change from the linear gameplay. The Genesis version, one reviewer for EGM disapproved, remarking, "We're the first tag technique, this one just gets cheap," but the remaining 3 declared it a worthy sequel. They commented that it retains the same great gameplay while adding excellent new weapons and levels which are crazier than before. Reviewers for GamePro gave rave reviews for both the Genesis and SNES version. They noted the basic gameplay and premise to be unchanged, but highly praised the new level designs, diverse soundtrack, and improved animations for the title character, with none of the reviewers concluding that Earthworm Jim 2 manages to exceed the lofty standards of the first game. I still don't love it, but I can totally see where this one did the right thing. Everything that the first game did right, this game kept and improved upon and added new things to it. That's what you want in a sequel. That's what you want in a good sequel anyway. Don't change the good things, fix the poor things, and add some new stuff. And this game did it. Still not my favorite game though. Still not my favorite kind of platformer either.